All right, we're doing something a little bit different today, folks. We're gonna step away from a pocket change market report that we normally do on a Saturday, and I wanted to take some time to take a look at identifying clean coins, especially on the higher dollar stuff. Um, I actually had a viewer comment, I'd say about a week or so ago, about how they were encountering a lot of what they thought was very lustrous coins, and come to find out that they were cleaned. This individual bought a few coins off of eBay that were really nice. I believe one was a 1880 excuse me 1882 Carson City Morgan dollar, and then one other date that wasn't nearly as I guess coveted, like a I don't know what it was because it was in the messages. But very common date like 1883 O or 84 P Morgan dollar from the same seller, and come to find out that they were both cleaned after they had consulted with a local coin shop, where, if I had a local coin shop, I'd probably consider using them first than buying on eBay if you have that capability. But we have a few listings to look at here. First and foremost, we're going to take a look at Morgan dollars to kind of help differentiate using the photos that we see on the listings of whether or not I would be worried about that coin or if it's something that I would feel comfortable personally buying. Now, we're going to get into specific dates that aren't exactly the cheapest coins. Like, for example, this 1879 Carson City Morgan dollar is one of the more expensive dates in the Carson cities for this particular series. So you want to make sure that whatever you decide to shop for or buy, that you want to make sure that you're going to receive a coin that is not going to be clean. A clean coin compared to one that is not clean will significantly and adversely affect the value from about 25-30% or higher. I've actually seen some of these coins dip quite a substantially larger margin, as far as like 60-70%, especially on some of these key dates. Carson City Morgans is one of those. You have to buy the right one and feel comfortable about it, so that way you're not going to be wasting money. So here's our first coin right here. And we're going to be looking at three Carson City Morgan dollars. And then we're going to look at one very specific key date Lincoln sent, because it can be also a little bit difficult to identify a cleaned copper coin. And, there's no bigger date than the 1914 D Lincoln cent. So we'll take a look at some listings there as well. So this first coin right here, this seller right here, is relatively new. Small feedback score of 25. They have this one at $600 or make offer option, but obviously the coin in question is going to be this one right here. That gives off a genuinely uncharacteristic appearance to it, even for a coin that possibly has some circulation wear, which this one looks like it's probably about a VF condition coin. This one just has a very splotchy gray surface to it. It looks very lifeless. And one thing that you guys need to know about on coins that are of extraordinary value, as a seller, you need to take the coin out of the flip to produce and generate the best, highest quality imaging that you can. The more money that you ask for these coins, there just simply is not any excuse to shortcut the process. So as good as this coin looks, Carson City Morgans are a very counterfeited. They're very expensive, and they come back clean quite frequently. And this was a coin that a lot of people did clean back, 60, 70 years ago, with the whole virus, we got to clean our coins thing. It was just people were very manic about it. It was all over the news, and it's something that a lot of people did do. I would personally be scared straight about buying a coin that looks like this, just because it doesn't look very good. For a coin that's VF, you might have a little bit of luster in the protected areas of the devices. The stars, the letters around the main design of Lady Liberty there, and things like that. The splotchiness does concern here on this one. Next one that we have here, no doubt about it, this one has definitely been cleaned. Again, keeping up the consistency of the appearance of the coin and the lack thereof on this one because of the splotchiness. It's got a higher glossy look to it. The coin technically looks like a very low end VF, like a VF20 tier grade on this one. This one is a $200 coin, 1882 Carson City, and keep in mind that you can buy GSA slabbed 82 Carson Cities. This is one of the more common dates of this particular coin in a GSA slab in BU condition for around 3.25 today. So it's not a whole lot more money to ensure that you're getting a coin of a higher quality rather than saying, well, I can't afford that extra $100 to $150. I'm going to settle for something like this because I guarantee you, when the rubber meets the road and you need that cash right away and you got to sell some of your higher profile coins and you have a coin shop that's nearby or you elect that you need to sell it real quick on a one-day auction on eBay or on Facebook, people are going to look at this, and coin dealers included, they're going to see just how bad and splotchy and very glossy this coin is. Coins that are well struck aren't supposed to be glossy, and with the amount of wear that's on this coin and the overall just inconsistency of the color of the coin itself, with all of the myriad of darker and lighter areas here, and then all the hairlines included, this one right here I would certainly avoid. And I would 100% without question conclude that this one has been cleaned. So in reality, what is our value on a coin like this if maybe a VF condition like a VF 35 coin is $200? Well, a cleaned example would probably put this one at about $100, and that's being very generous here. Coin shops will probably end up paying you $50 to $60, and they are going to strip all of the money possible from this coin because it is a very common date, Carson City, and number two, it's low enough a grade that it begins to kind of encroach on some of those coins that otherwise would sell for a better premium if they were lustrous mid state condition of a common date, like an 83.0 or, something to that effect. So this one right here, it says Cash Quick Gold Silver is the seller name on this one. They did not specify that it is of any certain grade. They're just throwing it up here. But, they also did not put cleaned on there, which I think is important. And it'll introduce possibly a way that these things could sell at a little bit more of a bargain rate for a collector. People can be okay with clean coins. It's just the moment in which you have to sell these to recoup some of that money is going to be more of a headache than it is actually beneficial if you're trying to collect into these as part of an investment as well. The final coin right here that I would say is the best out of the three is this 1890 Carson City Morgan. This is what a true, genuine, regular circulation coin should look like, uncleaned. It's supposed to have that dark patina to it. They actually refer to something like this as a circulated cameo appearance, where the actual fields are dark and the raised relief areas of the design are lighter. All right. So when you look at this coin here, sure, it's got a few little contact marks, but you see the flat areas of fields around the devices are darker, and they're darker around the edges of the devices themselves. The stars, E pluribus unum, Lady Liberty itself, and this is actually a little bit tougher date, but at the same time, this one's not going to break the bank. But it sure beats going out there buying that 82 to 84 Carson City in about the same grade for the same amount of money. A few trivial kind of contact marks on the edge, the rim's edge over here in certain areas, but that's all part of the circulation and the even circulation wear of this coin. This one right here, I'm going to say I'm about 80 to 90% sure that this one has not been cleaned. It could be an old cleaning and then retoned if done really well to look like this. But overall, I would feel comfortable if I had to buy one just to keep raw. This one right here is certainly a good example of a coin that you should be looking at. And surprisingly, this one will probably end up selling for as much as some of those other clean coins. Um, and you're gonna have the peace of mind that you're gonna have a better quality example of something that's going to be market acceptable for any circumstance, whether that's for a dealer or another collector, or if you sell it online, things like that. All right, and the last thing we're going to look at is one of my favorite dates to dissect, and that's the 1914 D Lincoln Cent. One of the big key dates of the series. Also has a lot of things that you should be worried about. Cleaning is one of them. It's probably the least of your worries, but this is a coin, ladies and gentlemen, that is counterfeited quite a bit. People will take 1944 Denver Lincoln cents, and they'll scrape away at the first four in there to make it a one. But you can always tell those because there's a significant gap between the 9 and 1. We might even come across one through here. So we're looking at cleaned examples because when these coins circulate and they oxidize, the best kind of example of what a coin should look like that is uncleaned is going to be this one right here for $271. Okay, they put in here choice fine plus key date, gray eye appeal, nice strike. So when we look at this coin right here, again, if I were going to choose any one type of coin, this is going to be high on the list right here. All right, and if you didn't want to buy a graded coin, I tell folks, with these key dates, you're better off buying an example um, that is graded because the professional graders had already looked at the coin and they've determined that it's not damaged or clean. Now, on this particular example, the only thing that would probably shy me away are those two little weird square contact marks on Lincoln's cheek. All right. So that would be something that probably and there's so many of them on eBay that this one might be part of that top 10% of coins I would consider, but by no means is it the one that I would buy. And another thing to keep in mind, the mint mark styles on these are all the same, and usually with 1914 Denvers, the mint mark actually sits a lot lower away from the date than some of the other dates during the teens. So that's kind of like one of the main pickup points for this particular date if you were to go and shop. So always keep in mind that mint mark style is um, is correct for this particular date here. So this first coin up here, no doubt about it, pretty well corroded. I would stay away from that. It's just going to be a nightmare if you decide to resell it. This coin right here has the appearance of it being cleaned and then retoned. $385 is quite a bit of money to invest. You could see just the how kind of like a matte finished kind of gloss, semi-gloss look that the surfaces has on this particular coin, and I am not in love with this one per se. It just I don't know. This one does not do it for me just from the general appearance of the coin, and then when you look on the reverse, it's got a very kind of like smoothened kind of appearance to it. It does have a considerable edge contact mark there at 6 o'clock. So I'd probably stay away from that. If you're spending $300-400 on this coin, you should probably just buy a graded one to be sure. Corrosion here. This one looks okay. I like this one here. $246.50. This one, 35 bids. It looks like it just ended. Actually, ended for $346.20, 40 bids. Yeah, I actually like this one. This has so far been the best looking one right now. It looks okay. This is a good what I consider to be just type coin, or if you need it out of necessity for a Lincoln Cent set, this is a great candidate for that. I probably wouldn't go out of my way to grade it because you're gonna end up spending. Let's see. You're probably going to be bumped up to the regular tier submission on this, so you're going to spend $40 to grade it because it's over that $300 mark, and it wouldn't be worth it. You're still going to have a coin that otherwise would probably grade like VF25. That's still would sell for this amount of money, even in a slab holder. So please do know that. Here's another one right here that just listed. There's a VG10 by PCGS. This one is currently at $164.51 with 3 hours. But you can tell that, in a graded slab, the coins will sell for a considerable premium, because they are straight graded. They are problem free. I would stay away from that. I just don't really like the photos. The photos have to be really good. This one's just really well worn. Same here with this one. That's like a probably good. Um, Here's a nice high-end example by Coins and Cards. Coins and Cards, by the way, is a seller that customarily sells their coins raw. They don't really sell them graded, and this one looks good. Be prepared to pay some money for this. The mint mark design and style is correct for this one here. And yeah, I actually like this one right here. It's at $1,000 with 3 days left to go, and that number is surely going to rise. I would say technically it's a low end mid state. I don't see too much wear on the high points of the devices. I'm kind of torn between like AU58 and like a mid state 62 brown grade wise on this one. And let's see, this one is pretty beat up. Lots of contact marks. That one is damaged. This one looks okay. I don't like the lightness here on Lincoln's head area. It's too uneven, which means that there was a little extra rub there on that area to rub away some of the old patina to the coin, which is that brown, the oxidation. Here's a nice VF25 gold shield example. So this one right here, the gold shield indicates that there is a true view picture that you could pull up online. Here's a raw one for 255. Here's one with a lot of gloss and a number of very fine hairlines. I'd be scared to buy this one as well. It just has a very unnatural color and look to it. Definitely avoid things like this. You will have through the course of your education and your investigation of looking at your series that you like, and you're going to quickly identify coins that look 100% natural. And this is especially true if you hunt through a bunch of graded coins, and then after you've looked at, say, maybe the requisite 50 to 100 coins that are graded and straight graded, and then you come back to look at raw coins in the hopes of maybe saving a few bucks, and you're going to notice a polarizing difference in the appearance of those graded coins, and it doesn't matter what grade it is, to the ones that are raw. All right. And there's a reason why, folks, that a lot of these coins are raw is that the owners, the sellers of these coins, understand that they have some sort of issue with them. All right. So here's an NGC uncertified details. I have a feeling that this one's probably cleaned. It says obverse damage on there, so that's probably that mark there under Lincoln's chin, and right above the 9, or in between the 1 and 9 and the date there. It's got some carbon spotting, but yeah, that's a lot of money, guys. Uncirculated details, and it could have been cleaned as well, a light cleaning on that one. Even though it's got some mid red in the protected areas, I'd still be wary of owning something like that. Here's a VF30 coin right here for 320 bucks. That one's probably a hit $400. Again, that's that premium with buying a graded coin. Here's one I would stay away from. This one right here has some pitting, some corrosion, environmental type of damage on there, and the coin is a little bit too glossy for my taste. So this one right here looks like it's probably been wiped by a cloth. This is what a natural 1914D would look like, and this one actually looks good down here underneath the Great Southern Coins, who I've been ultra critical about in the past. So the last one that I want to look at is this one here. This is one that is high enough value that the people that are looking for a high-end example of this coin will probably end up looking for. And they're probably looking to spend anywhere from like $1,500 to $2,500. This one's going to be in the wheelhouse, but the color is just wrong, wrong, wrong on this coin. The mint luster, whatever's remaining, is pretty much gone on this coin. And if you look at this one, they call this one like a high end, kind of like a mid state 62 ish appearance to it, based off of the amount of hair detail and overall detail throughout the coin. You notice all these contact marks all over the place. There's a fair amount of carbon spotting all throughout, a lot of irregularities in the color of the planchet. And technically, what would you call this? Is this a red brown or a brown itself or what have you? I mean, this one right here for what is trying and act to be a mint state coin has a lot of issues with it. So yeah, this one right here has a lot of red flags. You need to stay away from coins that look like this, and especially if you have a lot more skin in the game. $1,000 to $2,000 invested into a coin. This is certainly something that you might as well just buy graded. All right, you could get a really nice low end mint state for around that kind of money. This one right here is just crud. And then, another thing to kind of audit with the sellers is that when they have a coin like this, where it says BU details, great eye appeal, strong strike. I mean, if it was all that in a bag of chips, wouldn't you think they would grade it? Okay, now it might be a seller that doesn't grade coins. And there's really only one way to find out, as to look at their other items. So go over here under seller information, see other items. If they have one graded coin, they're disqualified. They're out. There, ICG Mid State 60. There's our first one. ICG Proof 62. There's another one. I'm trying to see if we find one graded by NGC or PCGS. And there you go. NGC Mid State 70. So they are graders, or they hold graded coins. I have a feeling that Tech probably grades coins because there are a few of them there here on their eBay store. So yeah, I mean, if that 1914D was that great of coin, again, I had to beat a horse to death here on this one. Um, they would grade it, and then if it comes back, mid state 62 red brown or a brown or whatever the case may be, that's going to be a pretty big home run hit. I mean, here's a PC Jets mid state 62 Barber Dime, all right, for $700. So they know about grading. They're not stupid. They're not naive. And again, that's another red flag to be on the lookout for. If they hold other coins that are graded, that tells you everything you need to know about the original coin that you're looking at, and you can move on from there. All right, because for a coin that expensive, it most certainly needs to be in a graded holder. All right, so whether it comes back details cleaned or straight graded, it's really immaterial at that point. You're just gonna have that peace of mind of owning a coin that is going to have everything you need. So that way, if you need to sell it in the future, there's not going to be a lot of red tape involved because is it cleaned? Is it not cleaned? A lot of that stuff. And besides, a coin of this caliber of that price needs to be in a graded holder anyways. So there you go, kind of like a little tutorial on your Saturday morning. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I'm your host Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Again, my final takeaway in all this: if you're going to get better at identifying the best possible coins on eBay, because eBay is like the biggest marketplace for numismatics today, is quantity. Be quantitative. Look at 200 coins, of that one particular coin that you really want, if that even exists on there. Look at a bunch of coins and get yourself kind of like locked and loaded. Do a little muscle memory in your brain of identifying, okay, this VF should look like this if it's unplayed with, as opposed to the one that looks like it's been tooled or played with or re-engraved or whizzed. Whiz is another big one. We see that normally on silver coins, but yeah, definitely get your education down on here, and you should go no wrong. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm your host Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys on the next coin video. And stay tuned for more.